During this presentation, we will be conducting an online poll to judge whether or not you have learned the necessities to make those everyday GMO choices. In this poll, you can either choose you support GMOs, it does not apply to you, or you do not support GMOs. So can I please have you open up your smartphones and text Edward Johnson 634 to the number 22333 in order to participate in our online poll. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Anaya Hamilton, and I would like to thank families and friends of our Junior Axel participants for attending our competition. I would also like to thank the judges for taking the time to critique our presentation today. I am 11 years old and in 6th grade. I attend Brooks Middle School in Bolingbrook, Illinois, and in my spare time, I like to play volleyball with my friends and I enjoy reading. I play flute in my school's band. My favorite book is Circus Mirandus. Additionally, I'm an active participant in Girl Scout Troop 384. After a number of discussions, our team decided to research GMOs, which stands for Genetically Modified Organisms. Due to lack of information on GMOs, the average consumer doesn't know whether to support GMO foods or not. At this time, please allow me now to introduce my team members. Dominique Browder.
Hi, my name is Dominique Browder. I'm 13 years old and currently in the 7th grade. I attend Calvary Christian School in Naperville. I'm currently involved in Girl Scout Troop 357, and I am in an organization called Jack and Jill of America. I also play volleyball for a club called Sports Performance. I am on the 13 Red team, and I have been playing the piano since I was in kindergarten. When I grow up, I'd like to be a TVA.
Ethan Covington.
Hello, my name is Ethan Covington. I am 12 years old and currently in the 7th grade. I attend Gregory Middle School in Naperville, Illinois, and my favorite subjects in school are math, science, ELA, and social studies. Outside of school, in order to stay active and healthy, I play soccer for the team called Soccer's FC Chicago. In school, my favorite instrument is the trumpet, and when I'm in high school, I later plan on to become in marching band. When I grow older, I'd like to become a surgeon and practice in a hospital in Chicago. Thank you.
Aisha Joe.
Hello, my name is Aisha Joe, and I'm a 6th grader, and this is my first year of Junior AXO. My interests are writing and drawing. My favorite subjects are art and language arts. When I grow up, I wish to become a lawyer, and my hope in making this website is not only to educate people on GMOs, but not as African Americans get noticed more. Thank you.
Umar Joe.
Hello, my name is Umar Joe. I'm a 12-year-old in 7th grade, and I go to Jefferson Junior High School. This is my first year of AXO. My favorite subjects are math, science, and I've decided to take French as a second language, as many of my family members speak it. Outside of school, I played football for my school's team, and I learned many programming languages such as Arduino and Python. When I grow up, I'd like to become an engineer, and I liked creating this website that we are using for this presentation.
And Courtney Miller.
Hello, my name is Courtney Miller. I'm 13 years old. I attend John F. Kennedy Middle School as an 8th grader. Not only is this my 2nd year of Junior AXO, but I also participate in Troop 357 Girl Scouts, swimming, cheer, dance, and Jack and Jill of America.
On the stage, you may have noticed that there are 2 products. After our presentation, we will want to know if you'll be able to tell which is GMO or which is non-GMO. Our agenda today is introduction done by me and Nia Hamilton, GMO overview done by Dominique Browder, pro-GMO argument done by Umar Joe, anti-GMO argument done by Aisha Joe, website development done by Ether Covington, and summary done by Courtney Miller. Our problem statement is, due to lack of information on GMOs, the average consumer doesn't know whether to support GMO foods or not. At this time, please allow me now to introduce Dominique Browder, who will provide the overview on GMOs. Dominique?
First, I will go over a couple points with you. First, we will go over the GMO definition. Second, the GMO timeline. Third, the impact they have on our food supply. And last, the public debate on GMOs. GMO stands for genetically modified organisms, which are organisms that have been inserted with genetically modified chemicals. GMO timeline. In 1938 in France, a bacteria called Bacillus thuringiens was produced in large amounts and sprayed on plants in the form of a pesticide. In 1988, the first soybean was inserted with chemicals. Ever since then, more than 70% of farmers insert their soybeans with chemicals. In the 1980s, the White House asked the National Academy of Science to look into any risk that GMOs have on our bodies. The National Academy of Science came back and said that GMOs pose no new or unusual risk to the environment or to our bodies. Impact on food supply. More and more farm fields are being sprayed with cancer-causing herbicides. New research shows that a protein in genetically modified foods comes from a source that is known to cause allergies. Public debate on GMOs. An organization called Greenpeace has been fighting against GMOs for years. Greenpeace says that just because GMOs might not have an effect on our bodies right now, doesn't mean they won't have an effect on our bodies in the future. Over 65 countries have banned GMOs. In 2014, Vermont became the first state to require GMO labeling. That law will be put into effect July 1st of 2016. In order for consumers to know that a product is GMO-free, the product has to go through a verification process. The first step to this process is the product being evaluated. The second step to this process is the signing of the licensing agreement. The third step to this process is the completion of the evaluation, and the last step to this process is the promotion of your new verified product. The next person who will be presenting is Umar Joe.
Impact on food. GMOs can have a large impact on the food that farmers are growing and the land in which they're growing them on. With the help of GMOs, farmers' seeds can become resistant to pests, weeds, and diseases. GMOs have a bigger yield, so they are more efficient than organic or non-GMO crops. GMOs have a long shelf life, so they are more cost-friendly because they don't have to be restocked as much. GMOs are a sustainable way to feed the world because they can grow quickly. Impact on the environment. GMOs can have an impact on the environment, whether directly or indirectly. GMOs can reduce the amount of pesticides. GMO seeds can reduce climate change, so they are more resistant than organic or non-GMO seeds. GMOs can grow in land that is not healthy for non-GMO or organic seeds. It can be dry, watery, or salty. However, the GMO seeds can still grow in them. Impact on health. GMOs can make vitamins stronger and micronutrients stronger, so they're more healthy for us. GMOs can attack diseases while making one less vulnerable to contracting others. Impact on the economy. When farmers in developing countries use GMOs rather than organic or non-GMO seeds, they had an increase in production and an increase in profits. From 1996 to 2012, a total of about 231 million tons of GMO corn and 122 million tons of GMO soybeans were farmed. In developing countries, there was a 21% gain, meaning for every $1 that farmers spent on GMO seeds, they got a return of $3.74. In developed countries, for every $1 a farmer spent, they would get about $3.50 back. Thank you. And I should joke with the GMO argument.
I'll be starting off the anti-GMO argument with the impact on humans, the impact on the environment, and the impact on the economy and the farming industry. The impact on humans. The GMOs are modified using bacteria and viruses which can make us sick. They're also modified using antibiotics, which can make our prescribed antibiotics less effective. GMOs also cause health problems like diseases and cancer. GMOs are fed to cattle that humans eat and can lead to us getting sick when we eat the meat. GMOs also can cause new allergies. Now, the impact on the environment. GMOs can cause the growth of superweeds, which are a hybrid plant that has genes for herbicidal resistance, which means when you spray herbicides on your weeds, it can backfire, really, and grow a superweed, which is harder to get rid of. GMOs also cause cross-pollination, which is when a bee or butterfly pollinates a genetically modified farm and later an organic farm, and then ends up making 2 genetically modified farms, which is bad because then there will be less organic farms. GMOs also affect the food chain by killing small animals and bugs, including bees and butterflies that we need to pollinate our crops. Now, the impact on the economy and the farming industry. GMOs are very costly, and because of that, more farmers have the inability to pay for their costly seed. Now, Ethan comes with a solution.
Before I dive into the depths of the beautiful website we've created, let me explain a little bit about the solution statement. We must educate the average consumer on the benefits and risks of GMOs so that they may make an informed decision on whether to support GMO products or not. As we were designing the website, we had numerous layouts we could have chosen. We had an informational layout, a picture layout, a video layout, or a hyperlink layout. Since the time was being consumed very fast while discussing this, we decided to narrow it down to the 2 main layouts, an informational layout or a picture layout. Now let me explain both layouts so you can understand why we chose the former rather than the latter. A picture layout is a layout where you have numerous pictures, the color scheme really flows together, everything is really connected, but the information is really lacking. And we didn't feel that hit home with our problem statement, which was that people are not informed. So we decided to go with an informational layout, where you still have pictures and colors and everything really does connect. It's not just a black over white outlook, but the information is really strong and the people who are going to our website are left with a clear understanding of the topic that they choose to support. While we were discussing the layout that we chose, we decided to go on Code Academy to learn a little bit about coding, because numerous of the members on our team knew nothing about it. I personally completed over 50 lessons and learned layout. I learned paragraphs, headings, links, formats, tables, and all of these drastically helped while we were changing the website. After we finished all the necessary lessons of code while we were discussing, we decided to put the information we knew onto a Word document. And there was this really neat website called W3 Schools where you can input the code and you can see how it looks in real life, so you're not making any silly errors. After we figured out that everything looks fine to our eyes, we submitted it to our technical counselor, Mr. Freddie Williams, so he can have a look at it himself. Once he gave us the heads up that everything's okay, me and Umar, the website developers of our team, we took a step back and let the designers of our team take a look at the website so it wouldn't just be a black and white outlook, because who wants to really look at that? I know what you guys are thinking. Why bother making a website? There's so many other outlooks to it. No one really surfs the web anymore, right? Well, that is simply not true. I want you to imagine something with me. You're walking into a grocery store. You have 2 steak options. You can either choose an organic steak for $29.99 or a GMO steak for $15.99. Which one are you more likely to choose if you're trying to feed an entire family? The GMO steak. But the people who are making those decisions don't really know what they're getting into. So we decided to make a website because every single person in that grocery store has at least one thing in common. They all have a cell phone on them. And what is their cell phone always connected to? The internet, which means they always have constant access to the facts that we provide so they can make it everyday GMO choices. Umar, if you would take a look at our website. As you can see from our website, we do have a logo and a color scheme and a layout like that. And if you would scroll down a little bit, we have our problem statement, the countries with laws, and a pro-GMO. And if you scroll up, you may think that the pro-GMO area is a long thing to read. But you know those long grocery lines when people are trying to use all those coupons they get in the magazines? You can easily skim that and know that, hey, I can run back to the store and get the organic steak if I don't agree with what they're putting on here. So next we can have Courtney Miller with the, actually, before we go on, Omar, can you scroll down? And we can take a look at a video, because we felt the websites that we were looking at did not provide the information that we necessarily needed. So we went on another source, and we decided to go to a non-GMO store and see what they had to say about labeling on GMOs.
Thank you for showing us the store. Now he's about to show us what a non-GMO product is going to look like.
You're quite welcome. Well, one of the ways you can know if a product is non-genetically modified is it'll have a non-GMO verified label on the product itself. So this is really what you're going to be looking for. This is the standard label on a non-GMO verified product. So you're going to want it to have that.
All right, thank you.
So now you'll never be tricked by those stores that try to tell you our food is non-GMO, when in reality it really is. Thank you. Now Courtney Miller with the summary.
Thank you.
Over back to the.
To conclude, surveys show that more than half of the U.S. consumers express concern about genetically modified organisms. But still, many don't even know what GMOs are. For those of you who forgot, a GMO is a living organism whose genetic material has been manipulated in a lab for desired outcome. Keeping in mind that the U.S. government considers these safe, meanwhile, the EU, Australia, and Japan have already restricted or banned these. We should understand that this is a hard problem to fill. Between Chipotle's new anti-GMO stance and Bill Gates claiming they could help solve world hunger, it's hard to know whom to believe. You've heard a numerous amount of facts, opinions, and research from me and my teammates. So I bet half of you still don't know what to choose. But let me remind you in a hopefully less complex way. Doctors say that GMOs have a bad and a negative impact on our bodies. However, they are tested for safety, and one of the most known products tested for safety grown in the US. Some say that not only are they bad for our health, but they also increase herbicide rates. Not only do they increase herbicide rates, but they also do reduce pesticide rates. GMOs are not only bad for our health, though, they are also bad for the environment, although they are notorious for adapting to changing global conditions. Choosing a GMO-free life versus a non-GMO-free life is your decision, in which nobody else can make for you. Our job was to help you with that and give you information and a better background to take home with your family. Thank you.
And now, since you have learned everything you need to, can you all pull out your smartphones and go to the messaging and text Edward Johnso 634 to the number 22333. Again, Edward Johnso, all caps, 634 to the number 22333 in order to participate in our online polling. And the options you have are A, I love GMOs, B, no more GMOs, C, who really cares, doesn't apply to me, or D, not enough information to make my decision. Looks like someone has just voted and they decide no more GMOs. If you're having any trouble, please ask questions now. All right, it looks like no more GMOs is still winning. If you disagree, please vote. Are you guys done with the voting, or are there still more of you out there?
still trying to vote.
Alright. Are you guys having trouble back there?
Yes, we are.
They clicked on the actual website, which they're not supposed to.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so just vote A, B, C. Some people are clicking on the website.
Alright, so it looks like the final results are 87% or 88% of you, excuse me, said no more GMOs, 8% said, who really cares, this doesn't apply to me, and 4% of you said there's not enough information to make my decision.
Thank you. And thank you, Ethan, for the poll. We wanted to know if anybody can figure out which one of these items are GMO or which is not GMO. Based on the information from our presentation.
What kind of apples are those?
Fuji.
My son says the ones over on that side are the GMO. Those are GMO. Those
He's
are-
correct.
Because he said they're shiny, that's how you can tell.
Yeah, that is correct. Oh, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Questions?
Oh, are there any questions?
So, I like the way you guys presented the fact that you gave us the option to kind of make our own decision. I think that's really smart. What did you guys, what would you have chosen? What would you have voted for?
I chose non-GMO because it's kind of like killing our environment and it's not very good for our bodies. So if we want to stay healthy, we should stick with organic food.
I said non-GMO because I have allergies and it says that GMOs actually cause me allergies.
I said pro-GMO because I feel in developing countries that don't have enough money to provide those organic foods, GMO foods can really help influence and increase the amount of food that's coming to those countries.
Although I was doing the pro-GMO information, I would have voted anti-GMO because they're not really that healthy. Although they have more nutrients than organic, but I'd still choose organic.
I chose non-GMO because they're bad for our environment.
I said it really doesn't impact me. Even though we've done a whole presentation, it doesn't impact me.
Are there any further questions?
Oh, yes.
So do you feel that your web-based presentation is partial or biased? And how would you support either?
That was actually a main problem that we had to discuss while we were creating our website because we didn't want it to make it feel like you're pressuring the consumer to choose either source. So we tried to even out the information, so we showed them good things about each side of the variable. So we said that either the website's non-partial, it's whatever you make of it is your decision.
Very well done.
Thank you.
You have designated responsibilities. How did you determine who would have what responsibilities?
So basically, some of us knew more information about GMOs than others. So like Umar and Aisha, they both knew a little bit of information about pro and anti. So we split it up between them. But me, I did the overview, so I basically knew a lot about GMOs already. So that's why I did the overview of everything, and I wasn't like partial, meaning like pro GMO and not GMO.
I have another answer to that question. In the beginning of the AXO season, we discussed the strengths of our team, and that really helped when we were deciding who would do what. And like me and Umar really like to code, so we decided that we would be the main ones presenting the code. And then we decide and then just like She's previously said, how they knew a little bit more information than everyone else, so it'd be more likely for them to take hold of those positions.
Also, for like me, since I have this type of shy show, me being the introductor kind of gives me a chance to speak up and like everyone hears my voice instead of being a quiet little shy person.
Are those the final questions or anything? Thank you.
Thank you.